we unravel the untold story behind the world's most valuable brand, Louis Vuitton, who went from a homeless teenager with no education to sleeping in the forest to creating a fashion giant brand headed by CEO Bernard Arnault, worth $180 billion. The story of Louis Vuitton is a classic tale of rags to riches. But what dark secrets lurk behind the pristine reputation of this multi-billion-dollar empire? Delve into the untold story of struggle, determination, and possibly even scandal at the heart of Louis Vuitton's meteoric rise to the top. Get ready to have your beliefs challenged and discover the true legacy of one of the world's most renowned luxury brands. Early life. Louis Vuitton was born into a working-class family in Angers, France, on August 4th, 1821. His ancestors were skilled craftsmen, including joiners, carpenters, farmers, and milliners. His mother, Corinne Galliard, was a milliner, and his father, Xavier, was a farmer. Unfortunately, Vuitton lost his mother at 10, and his father remarried shortly after that. Stories tell of his new stepmother being cruel, fueling Vuitton's desire to escape the small-town life in Angers. In the spring of 1835, at just 13 years old, Vuitton set out on foot to Paris, determined to make a new life for himself. He traveled for 2 years, taking on odd jobs for subsistence and finding shelter where he could. Despite the 292-mile journey, Vuitton finally arrived in Paris in 1837 at 16. The capital city was undergoing an industrial revolution, and despite its grandeur, it was also plagued by poverty and epidemics. Louis Vuitton was taken under the wing of a successful boxmaker and packer named Monsieur Marchal, who took him on as an apprentice. In 19th century Europe, the profession was highly regarded and sophisticated, as boxmakers and packers were responsible for custom-making boxes to fit the items they stored and personally handling the loading and unloading process. It didn't take long for Vuitton to establish himself as one of the top practitioners of this craft among Paris's fashionable crowd. Gaining notoriety, the fortunes of the young Vuitton took a turn for the better when Napoleon Bonaparte staged a coup and assumed the title of Emperor of the French as Napoleon III. This proved a fortunate event for Vuitton, as the new emperor's wife, the Empress of France, was Spanish Countess Eugenie de Montijo. She hired Vuitton as a personal boxmaker and packer, tasking him with packing the most beautiful clothes in an exquisite way. This connection gave Vuitton access to a high, exclusive, and royal clientele who would seek out his services for the rest of his life. The rise of Napoleon III to the French throne as emperor brought great opportunities for Vuitton. As the wife of Napoleon III, the Spanish Countess Eugenie de Montijo became the Empress of France. She took notice of Vuitton's skills as a boxmaker and packer and appointed him to packing her beautiful clothes with exceptional care. This connection to the royal court opened doors for Vuitton to a prestigious clientele that would seek his services for the rest of his life. Innovative entrepreneur. 1854 was a year of significant change for Louis Vuitton. This year, he met the young and beautiful Clémence Émile Palliot, Louis' great-grandson. In an instant, Louis transformed from the working-class dress of a fabric frock and hobnailed shoes to the elegant courting clothes of the day. His great-grandson, Henry Louis Vuitton, later recalled, "This transformation was stunning, but it took the expertise of the store's department manager to make it happen, as Louis had broader shoulders than the average Parisian bureaucrat." Vuitton and Palliot were married on April 22nd, 1854. A few months later, Vuitton left his job with Monsieur Marchal and opened his box-making and packing workshop in Paris. The sign outside his shop read, "Securely packs the most fragile objects, specializing in packing fashions." In 1858, 4 years after opening his workshop, Louis Vuitton introduced a revolutionary new trunk. Instead of using leather, this trunk was made of a grey canvas material that was lighter, more durable, and more resistant to water and odours. However, the most significant selling point was that unlike previous dome-shaped trunks, Vuitton's trunks were rectangular, making them stackable and more convenient for transportation via new modes of transportation such as trains and steamships. Many experts consider Vuitton's trunk as the birth of modern luggage. The trunks quickly gained widespread popularity, and with the growth of transportation and travel, there was a growth for demand for Vuitton's luggage. In 1859, he expanded his workshop to a larger facility in Agnières, a village near Paris, to meet the demand for his trunks. The business was thriving, and Vuitton received personal orders from the French royalty and Ismail Pasha, the Khedive of Egypt. The roadblocks in Vuitton's dream. In 1870, Vuitton's thriving business was disrupted by the outbreak of Franco-Prussian War and the subsequent siege of Paris, which resulted in a destructive civil war that ended the French Empire. After the siege finally ended on January 28, 1871, Vuitton returned to the devastated village of Agnières and found his workshop ransacked, his staff gone, and his equipment stolen. Undeterred by the setback, Vuitton quickly got to work rebuilding his business. He established a new workshop at 1 Rue Scribe in the heart of Paris, an address with a more upscale and aristocratic feel. In 1872, he introduced a new design featuring a beige canvas with red stripes, appealing to the new elite of Paris and marketing the beginning of Louis Vuitton as a luxury brand. Many people appreciated his new look since it was more contemporary, allowing them to stand out. To sell his goods, Louis Vuitton established a store in London, the capital of the British Empire, the richest city in the world, in 1885. And as a result, Vuitton's business began to expand globally. More adventurers, millionaires, and royals were now among his clients. Over the next 2 decades, Vuitton continued to operate from 1 Rue Scribe, producing high-quality luxury luggage, until his death on February 27, 1892, at 70. However, his legacy would live on through his son, George, who created iconic LV monogram, the future generations of the Vuitton family turning Louis Vuitton into the renowned luxury leather and lifestyle brand it is today. LV following the death of Vuitton. After Louis Vuitton's passing, his son George took over the company and teamed up with John Wanamaker, the US Postmaster General. Under George's leadership, Louis Vuitton products were sold in Wanamaker's New York department store. In 1896, George introduced a memorable monogram featuring an interlocking L and V with a floral pattern to pay tribute to his father. Upon George's death in 1936, the business was passed down to his son, Gaston. His tenure was fraught with challenges. He was forced to close the factories and stores worldwide at the onset of World War II. As reported in the book Louis Vuitton, The French Saga, Gaston reportedly made a deal with the German ruling party to produce luggage, allowing his store in Vichy, France, to remain open. After the war ended in 1946, Gaston passed the business down to his sons. However, when differences arose among them, Gaston's brother-in-law, Henry Rackemeyer, stepped in and took over, as reported by The Times. Under Rackemeyer's guidance, Louis Vuitton expanded globally and opened stores worldwide. In 1987, the brand reached nearly $1 billion in sales and merged with Moet Hennessy to form LVMH, although Rackemeyer lost control of Louis Vuitton to his associate, Bernard Arnault, who has held the position of chairman and CEO of LVMH, Moet Hennessy Louis Vuitton SE, LVMH, since 1989. LVMH saw a massive annual revenue of over $53 billion in 2018. In 2004, the brand made a fluid entry into the world of fine jewelry and elevated it to new heights in 2009 when it moved into high jewelry. The visionary Francesca Amphiantroff holds the coveted title of Artistic Director of Jewelry and Watches at Louis Vuitton, guiding the brand to new heights of creativity and excellence. In 2009, Louis Vuitton patented 2 metal diamond cuts, exclusive to the brand and representative of its signature monogram. These cuts are now synonymous with the brand and are a testament to its commitment to craftsmanship and innovation. Louis Vuitton jewelry is rich in legendary motifs, with collections that showcase the brand's revered heritage and rare and extraordinary colored gemstones in its annual high jewelry designs. The Locket collection, with its fine jewelry offerings, features the brand's famous padlocks, seamlessly blending pink jadeite with pink gold and white diamonds with white gold. Inspired by the brand's iconic logos, the Sun and the Star collection showcase delicate pieces embellished with diamonds and pearls, from charm bracelets and necklaces to monogram rings influenced by Mason's leather goods collections. Louis Vuitton jewelry masterfully blends an extraordinary heritage with a contemporary touch. Its jewels are as coveted as the brand's handbags, distinctive and timeless. CEO Bernard Arnault has revolutionized LV and is considered the wealthiest person in Europe, with a net worth of $80 billion, and is the majority stakeholder in LVMH. He holds a 96.5% stake in Christian Dior, which in turn controls 41% of LVMH. Arnault's children are also involved in the family business, with 4 of his 5 children working at various LVMH brands such as Louis Vuitton, Rimowa, Berluti, and TAG Heuer. LVMH encompasses 70 companies that offer a diverse range of luxury products, including Louis Vuitton leather goods. Well, that's it for today. Be sure to catch our next video featuring more authentic success stories from top brands. The hidden histories of Coco Chanel. Discover the dark secrets.